some music that you'd never guess. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got hard. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough defeat. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who were half-nots. You were not as tough though. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough defeat. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who were half-nots, who were not as tough as me. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough defeat. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who were half-nots, who were not as tough as me.
After a bit of a break, let's get back into wrestling games by reviewing a next generation title. Yep, after Dreamcast, Genesis, PS1, PS2, Nintendo 64, NES, and Gamecube, it's time to check out the PlayStation 3 games. Of course, we'll only be covering the ones I haven't reviewed yet on my journey to review every WWE game by Yuke over the course of the next few years.
Holy shit!
So, will WWE Legends of Wrestlemania, developed by Yuke and published by THQ in the year 2009 for Xbox 360 and PS3, be worth playing or not? Let's find out.
Hey, what an impressive combination of moves!
That boy ain't right.
Starting off with Create a Wrestler.
As of course is tradition.
I was pleasantly surprised by just how buttery smooth it all was in comparison to the PS2 games. Never once did it stutter, lag, slow down, or have any rendering issues. There was no shaky UI either. It just allowed me to create with no problems. This completely took me by surprise. I was so used to the more janky experiences of the PS2 and Gamecube at this point. I mean, that's what happens too when you've reviewed every WWE game for PS2 and Gamecube in under a year.
What do you want, a medal?
So, when it came to making people, I had no issues at all making our usual group. Charlie, Muda, Zach, JD, Angry Joe, Schlatt, Queso, myself, and Dirt.
And his opponent, from parts unknown, Mr. Amazing!
This will take me a minute. It doesn't happen. That's it. You don't catch gay.
Also, I did bring back Tectone, Scott the Waz, and even Maximilian Dude, who we haven't seen since what, Smackdown vs. Raw 2010 in March 2025?
Oh damn!
Plus, I did bring back someone I completely forgot about since WWF Attitude. Now, who do you think that would be? Yeah, you know who this is. It's the average Asmon Gold viewer. First introduced back in WWF Attitude on Sega Dreamcast. Yeah, it's been a while, really, hasn't it? Though I think he was last around for the Nintendo 64 port, I think, of Attitude when I reviewed that one. Not sure, though.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
Oh, alright. I also introduced someone I wanted to add since Day of Reckoning 2 back in October of last year. Except the game was just so bad, I wanted nothing more than to hurry up and review it, so I never had to touch it again. So, introducing JonTron.
From New York, Hollywood!
What the fuck?
pretty solid.
Overall, there was plenty of assets to play around with to make cause. You can easily sculpt the faces, bodies, alter the skin tones, hair color, eye color, and more with ease. Menu navigation is clean and simple and straightforward. You can easily make a call in less than 5 minutes. No 20 plus minute sessions, akin to Day of Reckoning 2, with the please wait issue constantly popping up in between every choice. So, let's move on to create a moveset.
Finally!
When it comes to create a moveset, it's still the same old from Smackdown vs. Raw. You don't even need to hit a loading screen or saving screen in between each wrestler, so that's good. There's a general lack of moves, however, especially taunts. And no, you can't pick your victory pose either, which makes no sense. Why can't I set up a unique victory animation? What if I wanted Derp to dance like usual? Well, that sucks. Overall, however, it's pretty standard and straightforward. Just pick whatever and move on to the other options in the creation suite, such as create an entrance.
Oh, my favorite!
Create an entrance is still the same old, except unlike PS2, it's very fast in switching between each scene as it loads everything, so picking entrances is pretty smooth and quick. You can choose a standard, champion, and gondola, video, and the music. There's no generic entrance options really outside of like 2 or 4 depending on which category we're talking about, so sadly, you cannot use a vast array of options unlike in the mainline SVR games. As for the gondola, apparently this was a thing back then, because I never remember seeing this. It's such a strange and yet extremely stupid way for a wrestler to enter the ring. They still have to get off and walk, so why even have this thing? Oh, I'll just pick your entrances for every wrestler, and let's move on to the very last option.
I wonder what it could be.
The very last thing you can do is set up tag teams, with a decent amount of space to make your own. Choose their name, who's in it, and if it's a tag team or an alliance, so you'll have to separate entrances or tag team one. But you'll have to go back to create an entrance to set up afterwards, with a decent amount of options at least. Oh, and no, there's no support for 3-man or more teams, so it's not a stable, so much as just tag teams, hence its name. Yeah, that kinda sucks. Why can't I have more than 2? Alright, cause this game doesn't support more than 2-on-2 basically, in pretty much every mode. Yeah, that sucks.
Indeed, quite, yes.
On to the combat, where we'll start off with the roster.
As one does.
Oh shit, I forgot to bring back Wayne. Oh well, maybe next time. Anyways, the roster by default is pretty good, though I can't help but notice they didn't include Randy Savage. You gave us the Junkyard Dog over Randy Savage. Really? Was this when he died? Didn't they have time? Did he refuse to appear in the game? Seriously, why is he not here? You gotta have Savage when talking about the classics.
Oh yeah!
Overall though, it's still pretty good, even if it could use a few more wrestlers. Thankfully, they knew they screwed up, so you can import your save data from Smackdown vs. Raw 2009 if you have any, so you can import your created wrestlers and the entire base game roster. So now the Great Khali, Big Show, and Andre the Giant can be pitted against each other. Or you can have Rey Mysterio work alongside the Ultimate Warrior.
You can feel it too!
This gives you an even larger roster to play with, and yes, there's a contingency plan in place if you use one version of a wrestler that appears in SVR09. So if you use Shawn Michaels from Legends of Wrestlemania, you cannot also use him from SVR09 in the same match. I wouldn't have minded though if you could. Would be funny having 2 Undertakers tag teaming 2 Shawn Michaels after all. Just double up the amount of caskets.
That's gotta hurt!
When it comes to the controls, this is easily where Legends really differs from SVR09. Well, SVR09 was buttery smooth, and I had tons of fun with its combat and controls. Legends wanted to be more jank and old school. If you hated the NES era to early PS2 era wrestling games, you may have a problem with this game's controls and combat. It's hard to explain given that there's all kinds of technicalities needed to do certain actions with various button combos, like pushing the left analog stick away from your opponent and quickly mashing the X button at the same time, a few times actually, just to do a special move, and it has to be very precise.
What a punch!
Yes! Now you're playing with power!
Look at this! A pusher with a big move!
So yeah, it's a jarring experience, yet the more I play, the more I got used to it, as you can see on the screen. Here's some basics to get an idea. Overall, I enjoyed the controls for once, which is kind of scary. I actually enjoyed the controls of a WWE game.
I'm scared! I'm moving on!
The combat itself is pretty basic and not that deep, yet in turn, still fun to play with. Everyone feels like they're worthy of being played. Not one moveset is off, and it's tons of fun just destroying your opponents with the fast-paced combat. Sure, it's not as fluid as SVR09, but for what Legends is, you can't go wrong with it either.
Nope.
A textbook reversal there!
You done fucked up now!
Though, even on Legendary, the AI can be a bit too passive. I mean, all the gameplay was captured with Legendary difficulty, and yet the AI doesn't really go hog wild as it should. Honestly, I bet I could have played this game with ease back when it came out in 09, back when I was only 15 years old. Jesus Christ!
Old.
Anyways, I also learned that you can't mess with a Nintendo Virgin. Seriously, watch out, he owns several copies of Fling Smash for Christ's sake.
I'm a gamer.
Is that what he thinking? Is that what he thinking? Is that fucking blue? Is that fucking blue? What's
You done
this?
fucked it
Are
up.
they really gonna start on top
Nintendo.
of the
See that? It's nothing.
No! 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 Don't do it! Not the ledge! Oh my god! How the hell do you learn to fall from a 30-foot cell?
Despite the AI not being that much of a threat, everything else is a ton of fun. Just striking your opponent and dazing them and then going in for a grapple or Irish whip. It all works quite well. The UI, however, isn't that good, as you can see on the screen. Once you get more than 2 wrestlers involved, it becomes a total annoying little bitch. So it's best to disable the HUD in the options. However, in doing so, you'll now be unable to see your status, momentum bar, which is needed to pull off a finisher. Plus, without it, you cannot see the QuickTime event button inputs needed to overcome a grapple or kick out an opponent in a battle royale match. So there's a major drawback.
You're such a nag!
Which brings me to the next thing about Legends of WrestleMania's combat. This being all the godforsaken QuickTime events galore. You gotta love them because they're mandatory in Legends. Otherwise, you can't win in any grapples, pull off any pull off any finishers, let alone even win matches like Steel Cage.
The Bruiser wins!
Here is your winner, the Bruiser!
Thankfully, QTEs and Legends are not that bad. Sure, it's annoying having to nail them several times in a row to pull off a finisher and stuff, but it's not exactly bad as the terrible reversal system in the Gamecube games. You can easily press any button, any of the 4 face buttons, and it registers immediately. I had fun just destroying people with various finishers as different wrestlers. So of course, we had to bring back the classic from Shut Your Mouth.
I think I saw two clouds.
I'm about to take my drawers off! I'm about to take my drawers off!
Wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Even when you get knocked down, you don't mash the A button taking 30 plus seconds to get back up, or wiggle the analog stick left and right for 20 plus seconds to get back up. Instead, you just mash the face buttons till the green bar fills up, and it's so fast and fluid. This also applies to escaping the steel cage itself, which is so easy to do in this game, in comparison to previous WWE games, where I was more likely to jump off the cage and hurt myself back into the ring.
Because he's stupid. Duh.
This also applies to Royal Rumble and Battle Royale, where you just mash the face buttons and deplete your opponent's stamina bar to knock them out of the ring. Royal Rumble is tons of fun, and yes, you don't even need to keep playing, otherwise the match is over, akin to the Gamecube games. Finally! You also don't need to keep playing, as whoever enters the ring next after being eliminated, akin to WWF Attitude. It's entirely optional if you want to come back into the game by controlling the next person that jumps in. Yuke did a good job with Royal Rumble here.
It's a miracle!
Oh, and yes, this also applies to Ladder Match. We can't forget about that one after those horrible Gamecube games, where you now have to unhook the belt through a minigame, giving the opponent a chance to fight back. So yeah, Legends fixes my complaints about those mediocre Gamecube games. Legends is just a good game overall, combat and control wise. You really can't go wrong. If you hate QTEs, however, avoid this game, as it's a core part of the gameplay. However, I can deal with it, even though I prefer quick time events exclusively in Yakuza / Like a Dragon instead.
Back and forth all night. Unbelievable. The monster wins it.
Here is your winner, the Monster!
Hey man, can I get a favor? Yeah, sure, I know, see you later. Sometimes
Goddamn right.
When it comes to the modes, you have two of them. You got Exhibition and Game modes. Yeah, more about that one later. But for now, we gotta cover Exhibition, where we can select from a tiny variety of match types. Single, ladder, submission, tag team, triple threat, battle royale, handicap, and Royal Rumble. Yep, that's it. No hardcore, inferno, casket, buried alive, or any variations like 3-man tag team or tornado tag team. You can only have 2-on-1 or tag team on 1 handicap matches. There's no 3-on-1 option for some reason. So Exhibition has some stuff going for it, yet overall is pretty lackluster. If you're going to build off a Smackdown vs. Raw 2009, why not include additional match types?
True that.
Now that's true, Granddad.
This means ladder matches only 1-on-1, steel cage is only 1-on-1, Hell in a Cell is only 1-on-1. What kind of game is this? Also, no fatal 4-way. This sucks. However, 3 matches are locked by default and require you to win at least 3 matches in Wrestlemania Tour mode to unlock them. These are Steel Cage, Hell in a Cell, and Iron Man match. Thankfully, these requirements are more than fair in comparison to other games where you need to do certain actions like put Triple H through a table at Wrestlemania as Edge on Legendary difficulty in Road to Wrestlemania just to unlock Vince McMahon or something.
Boo!
When it comes to setting up a match, the UI is decently set up. You can pick the rules before selecting a match type, or just go right into choosing your wrestlers first. Which, yeah, this part is stupid. Why a list again? Where's the fighter select screen or a larger list that shows several names as you scroll through it? This is just terrible. Thankfully, you can use filters to easily find people based on various factors like legend status and if they are CAW or not. Once you have that, you can pick the rules and arena, but not always, as it's locked in certain matches. There's a general lack of arenas, however, which sucks. I get it, it's all about Wrestlemania, but still, you couldn't have given us Raw or Smackdown as an option, especially the retro versions. I mean, you can even import your save data from SVR09, but you won't let me use those arenas from that game? Come on!
Neg.
Under game modes, you can access 3 different things. The main one in the center is Wrestlemania Tour mode, where you can relive famous matches throughout the decades, attempting to reenact how things played out in the past with legends of yesteryear. I did 3 of these just to see what it was like, and it's just alright. Having to do specific actions which may require the AI to get the advantage and you need to counter them can be annoying. Punishing the player for being good at a game is never the right call. So if you don't complete a set number of goals and get the minimum amount of points needed, you'll have to redo the entire match all over again.
I wish you would go fuck yourself!
You can also play other kinds of matches where you'll change history and have the other guy win, or have it play out how you want instead of following goals. It's just an okay mode, but as per usual, I'll always prefer exhibition mode, where I have total control.
Well, no!
The other mode is called Legend Killer, where your own CAW can fight through several matches to fight various legends and become one yourself. It's nothing special, and the non-stop fighting does get old after a while and makes me hate the gameplay even more, as it's so shallow and repetitive after a while. It's just tiring, you know?
I don't get it.
But yeah, I defeated several wrestlers as Charlie and then fought Hulk Hogan before getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. You're damn right that Charlie belongs there. The Moisty Boy toy deserves it, especially after being in so many terrible wrestling games.
Your winner and new greatest legend of all time, the Superstar.
The last part of the game modes is Hall of Fame, where you can see stats for wrestlers and their amount of victories, plus what medals you've unlocked for each match in WrestleMania Tour mode. Overall, nothing special, and you can avoid coming in here. Moving on to the other section.
Let's go already!
As for the load times, holy shit, is it a night and day difference over the PS2 and Gamecube. Those were ranging from 40 seconds to over a minute long. Here, however, they're less than 10 seconds, even when loading into a Battle Royale or Royal Rumble match. It's great how quickly you'll get right into the game. Man, I just hope that future games can keep this going. But I doubt it once we get to WWE 2K14 towards the end of the PS3's life cycle.
Happened.
And with that, we've officially covered 18 out of 26 WWE games by Yuke. We're now down to only 8 more WWE games by Yuke to get through.
Oh my god!
I'm not sure when I'll ever get to them since I keep having technical problems with these games. I mean, you saw the glitches in the footage for this game alone, and it's one of the better performing ones. So, one day we'll definitely cover the rest before I ever quit YouTube. So yeah, WWE 12, you're next on the chopping block. I remember playing it for a short period of time before getting rid of the game, not caring for the changes it made over SVR 10 when I was a kid. So let's see if that remains true whenever I can get that game to work.
We get it.
At the end of the day, WWE Legends of WrestleMania for the PlayStation 3 is an average game well worth playing. I was shocked to find this game wasn't complete trash. I never hear anyone talk about this game after all, so that's a worrying sign, and yet I'm glad I did go through with checking it out. Sure, there's some faults, like the QuickTime events can get annoying, there's a lack of several iconic wrestlers, there's a lack of arenas and match types, and a few other things.
Shut up! Alright, just shut the fuck up!
But that doesn't really hold the game back enough to make it a bad game. I hope more people give this one a chance like I did, because while it's not a great WWE game, it's up there in the top 10 for me so far from what I've played and reviewed. I enjoyed the combat, the roster, Royal Rumble, creating wrestlers, and just screwing around. Not to mention, despite its repetition, Legend Killer was fun, just going through a gauntlet of legends to defeat the top one of that tier and induct one of my cause into the Hall of Fame.
And let's not forget, I do keep that big iron on me. And these Pythons, they don't play nice.
I also love how we can import our cause and the roster of Smackdown vs. Raw 2009 into Legends of WrestleMania. Such a neat feature that I wish they would have included in other games. At least the import cause option, since each game is just the same thing over and over again, as I'm sick and tired of having to remake everyone for each game, especially after reviewing over 40 of these wrestling games for the ones that allow you to create cause in the first place.
Fair statement, I think.
One day we'll take a look at WWE 12, whenever I can get that thing to work. Till then, however, this will be the last wrestling game review for a while.
It's over!
Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.
Hope they do more of that for this. And yeah, that's really about it. See ya.
And his opponent, from parts unknown, Mr. Amazing!
This will take me a minute. It doesn't happen. That's it. You don't catch gay.